Good day, everyone. Good day, good day, good day, good day. Welcome to another Technical Tuesday, right? It's good to be back. It's good to share market insights. And yeah, like always, we go over the weekly outlook, right? And so I see new comments or individuals that is tuning in, right? So we're having Texas in the building. We have Dallas over here. It's so good to see you. I don't know. I don't know your name, um, because you must allow StreamYard to share your name, right? And so that would be this at the on top of the live stream. It will be in the caption, right? So I can just see who is commenting, right? Um, and so Coach Brian said this in the house as well. Yes, I see you. I see the comments. I see you. Right. Um, yes, so I will. Hope you will enjoy this technical Tuesday. It's gonna be, you know, the market's gonna is gonna shift to mindset, right? I see also Chantel's also in the building, from South Africa, Cape Town. Yes, and so this week was a very interesting week. If you are new to the stream, we send the email, or the admin team send the email out on a Friday, and the email stating that you can send through your symbols that you trade the most, right? And I am responsible for that, and I just give the students you know a outlook on how the market may project, right? And so for me, it's surprisingly 2 weeks in, this week and last week, that the students have seen in currency symbols. And so it's just one of those mindsets, that we teach the students, that yes, there is stocks, yes, there is futures, but we teach also currency, and that is one of the game changers, right? And if you want to be part of the kingdom community as well, you get a shout out um, to to the admin team, and then one of the admin team will just send out further information regarding that. But no further ado, this week we focus on the Tixi, known as the dollar, right? And also we focus on Euro USD. It is one of the favorites amongst the students as well. And then we have Euro JPY, and then we also have the New Zealand dollar versus JPY. And so the last one is quite gonna be very interesting, because I think this is the first time I'm highlighting that instrument or symbol with you guys on Technical Tuesdays. But yes, no further ado, I will just remove my face so that we can have a more perspective on the market. And now and then I will just put my face again on the live stream, right? But it's good to see everyone here. And so we're on a Dixie. We This is a daily time frame actually as well. So if you just look into how the market is going, right, we have noticed that number one, there is a weak area of demand, right? That's over there. And the students will know if we do our enhances regarding that particular demand zone, it will have an indicator of strength, time, and weakness, right? Or freshness in that regard. So we go on a 4 hour just to see more or less what will happen, right? And we have noticed that this actual outlook on the market, or this pattern, right? We are seeing that price action will play within this area, touching that particular demand zone, right? And it will drop, and it will touch that demand zone and have a retracement, right? And so that is actually happening as we are speaking. So it broke through because remember yesterday was a public holiday, and yesterday the markets was a bit slow, right? And so we have seen a retracement a bit, but now we go to the 2 hour time frame, and there we have it, right? So we have a leg in, we have a base, and a leg out. However, the leg out of what is happening in this particular area, right? And the students will notice that the leg out is not so strong because the way how the candle closed, right? And so we have seen the sellers are in the market, right? So the sellers are actually dominant within this particular segment, right? And we'll just show that towards you. So we have a sell off, right? So we had a drop phase, and then we have a drop, right? So while we have that in place, right? We can even go to the 1 hour time frame on the Dixie. Now, what I want to do is just I'm gonna remove that pattern so long to my right hand side because I know the chart can be messy. So there's a rule of thumb that said, right, or theory regarding trading that our previous demand can be our next supply, right? And so this was a demand zone, right? Let me just highlight that to you or indicate that demand zone for you. Is that demand zone over there? Now, what we want to do is we can change this to a supply zone, right? It was a demand zone, and we can change it into a supply zone. And when we zoom in furthermore within the market, right, we can see that it is having a drop, it's having a base, and it's having a drop, right? And now you can also see the opening and closing of the candles regarding price action on the 1 hour time frame, right? And that is in this area. And the students will also know what is this meaning, and how long or how many candles it is taking to reach a supply zone. Also remember it is happening later the day, right? And so on my times, African time, we have just about just over 2 hours of until the next day starts, right, within the market. um, and then the Asian session will kick off, right? So that is now taking place, um, and if we go to the 15-minute time frame, there we can see, right, how candle structure is forming. Now, if you want, you can also highlight the low of that particular range for the day, right? And we can go to our left hand side, and we can see more or less what is happening over here, right? And so the students know that with my I just draw horizontal lines. That just indicates, a supply zone and demand zone, and in this case, it is a demand zone. It's just, for me, I understand that as well, and so we can highlight this particular area, right? So there we have a rally, have a base, and then we have a rally, right? So this remember this is on a 15-minute time frame, right? And if we zoom out, that is what happened of why the market retraced, right? And by the reversal and went long, right? However, the students will also know, and that's what deal with high level coaching, candle structure, the opening and closing of these particular candles is not showing strength, right? So that's just one way to look at things. But now, um, I see on the chat it says put the 7 in the chat, right? If you get in value, I think that this goes Brian. Yes, I agree. If you get in value out of this live stream, put the 7 in the chat. And then yeah, I just want to see engagement within the community as well. Okay, I see some sevens. Right. So what we want to see, I'm gonna go to a little bit of a higher time frame. What we want to see what will happen in the next hour or two, or in the next day or two, right? We have seen that trend or price action broke this particular trend line, right? So it's a good sign that sellers are in the market. However, if we zoom out a bit, we can see, and for this, I'm gonna go to this to one more higher time frame. We can see that the overall uptrend is being tested, but now we have seen the price action is also broke this particular uptrend, right? And so I will just show it to you as well. This particular uptrend, right? So when we have or analyze these particular um, candle structure within the market, you must pay very carefully attention towards that, right? So remember, the retracement or the reversal happened on a 15-minute time frame, right? As I showed you over here, right? It happened on a 15-minute time frame. Now remember, the lower the time frame is, uh, on a higher time frame, it can, break the 15-minute time frame as well. So um, when price action returns, and let me just use a lower time frame to explain this as well. So when price action returns, and I'll just put this back right over here. So price action bounce off, right? And it went long a bit. Now when price action comes down again, right? If it goes short, right? You can retrace again on that demand zone, and then it can fall, right? So that is what we're looking for within this particular market, right? That's only if price action retraces to that demand zone. And so once we have that in our back end and in our trading plan, we can go to Euro USD. And with this, right, we are seeing that price action actually broke this particular supply zone, right? And I will highlight that supply zone towards you, right? So that supply zone has been terminated. And if you're part of our group, our students would be the first ones to gain this particular, indicator, right? And so, what price action actually did, right? It actually made an inverse head and shoulders, right? So yes, it's very important to understand the full price or the full picture before taking a trade. That's actually absolutely correct. We do, and that's part of the high level coaching, right, that we do with our students, and we just, Coach Edwin unpacks that as well, using high time frames to lower time frames within our modules as well, right? And so, yeah, if you want to be part of the team, don't be hesitant just to, shout out there in the comments, and one of our admin will reach out to you, right? So, one of the core formations, right? So, this is in the downtrend. What we want to see in the markets is it will either play a double bottom or an inverse head and shoulders, right? And in this case, it's showing the inverse head and shoulders. It's showing strength and price action can, right, uh, change trend, right? And so in this case, it's the downtrend, and so price action can go in the uptrend, right? And so I want to just delete my face again. And if you are clever, this will be a nice way how to see. And this was in a chart, right? And if you just draw out the line out there, that is why, that is why price action, you you know, yeah, sometimes the skill set doesn't surprise me, or do still surprise me every time that I see these things, right? So this is in 1 hour, but that's in the downtrend, and if we just delete that, we would also saw wise price action turning at that Pacific, um, point over there, and you can just see that it is in a downtrend. So the skill set work, everyone. For those who are watching for the first time, I, I cannot just dive into theory regarding this. Everything regarding this is in our student course and stuff like that, right? And so we have seen price action being determined, right? Regarding a supply zone, and this can be a little bit messy, but I will try my best to. I can delete that as well. I want to show you something else that might be to your advantage, is we can throw that uptrend as well. And now what will happen is price action now, right? It can either go down and test this demand zone, right? And have a retracement to the upside, and price action can go long, right? Or we can see if price action plays in this particular demand zone, it can drop, right, and head to our next opposing demand zone, right? So you can indicate that as well over there, right? So just look at that as well. It can play out. So yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting to see where price action will close in the weekly time frame, right? And I don't want to keep it too long here because I know we can only concentrate for so long. Euro JPY, right? We have seen a price action actually continued to respect the uptrend, right? This is just value, right? This is just value upon value. It continued, and guess what? It actually filtered and respected this particular pattern, right? And if I just can bring it back towards there, right? So we had a drop, had a retracement, drop again, have a retracement again, and so it actually continued and broke that this particular supply zone, right? So if we had to just indicate what area of demand it respected, it was this particular area, right? And it just clipped the proximal entry of that particular demand zone, and we have seen price still making higher highs, right, and higher lows. And when we see how, because in this case, Euro JPY, Euro is the base quote, right? And so for that, if Euro is strong, then that means Euro USD is strong. And so what we have seen today, right? We have seen strength within Euro USD that automatically was tell me that regarding Euro JPY, the Euro will be strong, right? And we have seen that price action made higher highs regarding Euro JPY as well. So that is just a nick how to see the market. And yeah, what I can highlight to you as well is on the 4 hour, just to get a nice bigger picture, right? A full picture. And for this one, I go on the daily time frame. Yes, that this is actually the one I actually wanted, because I have said that if price action do break in this particular supply zone, where would our next opposing supply zone be, right? And that will be in this case, right? That is where our next opposing supply zone can be, right? And so, with that being said, if that's our next opposing supply zone, that means Euro USD have to be strong, right? And if that will be the case, and I'm just going to follow a lower time frame just to highlight this particular um, segment, right? And so price action will go to our next opposing supply zone, right? So if price action goes to this next opposing supply zone on Euro USD, that is a possibility that on Euro JPY price action will also go to our next opposing supply zone, right? Let me just add me on to the screen once more. So everyone gets that. Just put a 10 in the chat. I see Pastor Angel is also here as well. Just put a 10 in the chat if you got that value and understood what I just said there. Yes, I see a 10 there. We're almost done. We're almost done. I won't keep you long. I see these people still on the live stream. Okay, there I see the 10s coming through. Yeah. Okay, I see Patrick Smith as well. It's good to see you, sir, on the live. Okay. We're gonna go to our last symbol for the week, and that is the New Zealand dollar versus JPY, right? And so for this, just remember your fundamentals will be what's happening in New Zealand. That will be everything that moves the economy through economists come, yeah, your CPI reports, your core CPI reports, your unemployment claims as well. So that is just things that you need to understand, right? And that also goes for JPY as well, the yen. And so with this, I'm gonna go to a higher time frame and to start from there, right? Just to understand where the supply zone is coming from. And so I have said that if you're trading this particular symbol, last time price action was in 2015, right? So counted the privilege, right? That was around about 8 years ago, right? And price action is back over there, right? So let me just zoom out again and just see, right? So that is where our supply zone is. We can even go on a weekly time frame just to see that, right? So there is a supply zone happening over here. You all see that. Let me just zoom in a bit as well. We have a supply zone, right? And so if we correspond to our left hand side, and it's very important how price action will close, right, on a weekly time frame. So we still have 3 more days to see where price action wants to go. And if we go to the daily time frame as well, 4 hour, and there we have it, right? I have said, right, price action will reach the supply zone and drop. Price action is actually doing that as we are speaking, but also it reached our distal line, our distal entry, right? And so that's just one way to look at it as well. Sometimes it won't respect the proximal nodal zone entry, but it will sometimes respect the distal entry as well. So, with that being said, it is respecting this uptrend, right? And when you look at it, price action can drop, right? So what price action did also was create this demand zone as well, right? So remember, your trend is your friend, and if price action, because that will be our next opposing demand zone. If price action, you know, want to continue in the uptrend, right? It needs to find out our next opposing demand zone. If price action do drop, it can retrace, right? So let's have a look at that as well. But if we do see that price action comes down and it starts to play in this particular area of demand zone, right? It can drop to the downside and go short. But remember, everything will sink, right? When price action comes down to this demand zone, it will most likely also be in sync with this uptrend, right? And so this, what I mean about that is, let me just zoom in as well. What price action will do, um, and this can happen. I'm not saying it will, but it can. So price action will drop. Okay, let me just go to a lower time frame to 1 hour. So what price action will do, we will see price action going like this, right? Right, and as soon as it come there, it will sink right within that particular uptrend, right? So just delete this, right? So that can happen, right? So that's all from me, team. Hope you all are pleased through this live stream, and yeah, that's the info. That's the info today. Like I said, I don't want to keep it too long because I know that the human concentration span can only keep for so long, right? And so if you are watching for the first time, and if you want to learn more information, just comment learn more, and then you know one of the admin team will reach out to you and just give you further information, right? So thank you, team. I've seen people, no, won't say people, but yeah, the community is saying thank you, coach. I know Chantal is our student as well. Thank you, team, for this. I see Patrick Smith as well. Yeah. So I hope you took some trades, and don't forget, students, to send out your symbols on Friday, right? And yeah, the market is moving, guys. The market is moving. So have a blessed week as well, weekend. And I will see you next week, same time, same place, right? So take it easy, team. Um, and God bless. See you. Bye.